Okay, have you ever been out and about, saw a moment that you wanted to capture, but you couldn't because you didn't have your massive brick tank beast of a camera on you? No more. That changes now. Okay, today we're talking about this. This is the Ricoh GR3. Now, real quick, there are a few different versions of this camera out there. So you got this one, the GR3, and it has the 28mm equivalent lens on it. And then you've got the GR3X, which I believe is like a 40mm equivalent lens, more like that portrait field of view. And then you've got HDF models, the GR3 HDF and the GR3X HDF. And now there's rumored that there's a new one coming out. I don't know much about that one, but for the sake of this video, we'll talk about this. So the ones with HDF at the end of them are basically highlight diffusion filters. So you get that soft, creamy highlights that kind of look like you're using a mist filter. That's those ones. But for this one, I just opted for the standard GR3, and then I put on some accessories that give me that glow that I can remove if I want to. So finally, the Ricoh video. I've been so stoked on this little camera. It's a camera that has made me want to get out there and shoot more than almost any camera that I've ever used. Now, obviously, anytime I get a new camera, I'm stoked on it and I'm super excited, but this one's a little different. Just having that versatility of being able to throw it in the dash of my car, throwing it in my pocket, my sweater pocket, it works. It's inclining me to go out and shoot. I feel like that's the most important part. So let's talk about this little guy. Whichever Ricoh you decide to go with, the core idea remains the same through all of them. Tiny, powerful, and honestly kind of ugly in the best way possible. So first things first, let's talk the overall vibe of this camera. It's immaculate. It's low key. It doesn't scream professional photographer or paparazzi, as a sweet old lady once called me while I was shooting in LA with my Canon R5. I get it, I don't blame her, they're big. Nobody cares when you pull this thing in, and it's way less intrusive than any large camera, which honestly matters if you're out shooting street photography and trying to be a little more discreet and capture those more candid moments. It doesn't put people on edge. It doesn't really change the scene around you. You just blend in. Really no different than using your phone. If anything, less intrusive than your phone. When you're shooting on it, you can actually feel like you're just living in the moment and not out working. Oh, does that make sense? I mean, with my big camera, I feel like I'm working. With this one, I'm just chilling. We vibe. It makes shooting easier. Okay, next up on the list, size matters. Sorry guys, I said what I said. And the Ricoh GR3 is stupidly small. Like I was saying earlier, jeans pocket, check. Hoodie pocket, check. Glove box, check. Inside your tote bag, I don't know, check. I don't know, man. I don't own a tote bag. I needed B-roll. I don't. This is a grocery bag. It fits. You literally forget you're carrying it until you actually need it. And then boom, there it is. And the best part is that because it's so tiny, you literally have zero excuses not to carry this thing everywhere, meaning you now have a camera on you to catch every single moment that presents itself. No more lugging around your huge camera. It's just always there, ready. All right, but what about the actual photos? Are the files good? Spoiler alert, yeah. They're not crazy, but they're good. So it's a 24 megapixel APS-C sensor, which basically means you're getting that DSLR level quality just in a camera that looks like it should be sold next to a disposable Kodak camera in a gas station. The colors straight out of camera are amazing, and the dynamic range based on its size is pretty damn impressive as well. The detail, much better than you'd expect, and you can shoot in RAW, which means you're gonna have full control over your edits later, preserving the details and the highlights and in the shadows. And what I love the most is that you can literally just post the files right out of camera on this thing and they're gonna look good, or you have the versatility to bring them into Lightroom and edit your photos as you would with anything else. Versatile. Okay, next up, let's be real. Autofocus, is it good? It's just fine. It's not crazy fast, it's not crazy smart, but also you don't really need blazing fast autofocus for what this camera's made for. You're not tracking Usain Bolt running his 100-meter dash or whatever he runs. You're trying to catch that little moment with your kids, or a crazy sunset with a palm tree in the front. Just those little moments that are sort of happening as you go about your life. That's at least what I'm using this for. I'm not picking this up for a professional shoot where I need that lightning fast autofocus. I'm just using it to capture life as I live it. Is that a quote? That sounds weird. You get it. So the autofocus for that is perfect. Okay, so now there's a few little weird things about the Ricoh that I didn't expect to love as much as I do. Like, it has IBIS, actual real deal in-body image stabilization in this tiny little thing. So that means I can shoot at slower shutter speeds and not have to worry about any of that motion shake you get from your hands, unless you've got hands of a surgeon and you can be super still. So that means sharper photos and less of that blurry mess, unless you're going for that. to each their own. And another thing I love is that it charges via USB-C. No stupid chargers, not having to bring a whole bag of cables and batteries and blah, blah, blah. Whenever I'm done shooting and now I'm in my car driving to the next spot, whatever, I'm stopping at my office, I can literally just plug it in for a quick charge. It charges in no time. It's super quick. I don't know the exact specs on the batteries and how fast it charges, but it's quick. You can get enough juice to shoot just by plugging it in through USB-C. There is a battery as well, but I honestly haven't even taken it out once, and I do have extras, but I don't even carry them with me because I've always got a power bank on me or something like that to keep it juiced up. Just plug it in like a normal human being. Easy. Okay, now there's a few accessories you can get for the Ricoh, but honestly, the two that I added to mine is all I really need, and they make the biggest difference. So first up, I've got the square hood glass lens hood, and it's a clean metal lens hood with a built-in magnetic UV filter. What this is gonna do is it's gonna protect the lens, it's gonna cut down the glare, and it just kind of makes the Ricoh feel a little bit more polished and premium. And another thing about it is it's got that like mist filter glass on the front, so it adds a little bit of that halation that you would get with the HDF models. So now, although it does add a little bit of bulk to the Ricoh, you're not gonna be able to slip it as easily into your pocket anymore, but it's easy enough to just pop off. On, off. But for me, the trade-off's worth it. I usually end up carrying it in my bag, and it was sitting in the top pocket or in my hoodie pocket, which it still works. Pocket with this on, maybe not so much. Now, the second accessory I'm using on my Ricoh is this here. Also by Square Hood, this is their brass thumb grip. Now, just like any other thumb grip, it just slides into the hot shoe up top. Kind of gives you a better spot to rest your thumb when you're shooting. It's one of those things that you don't realize you need until you put your camera on and shoot with it. Then you don't understand how you were shooting on this thing without it. Makes the camera way more comfortable to hold, especially if you're out shooting for a while. I tend to get like palm grip cramp. I'm sure you've had that happen. If you're shooting on a smaller camera, you get it because of the way you're like pinching it. So with this thumb grip, it just kind of gives you a little bit more hold without breaking your palm. Not necessary, but I need it. So honestly, to me personally, those two upgrades are all you really need to make this camera a whole lot better. Now you could go as far as adding a wrist strap. I know when you purchase the Ricoh, it does come with one, but it's a cheap little crappy strap. Not a fan of it, so I just killed it, threw it out. Bye. I would add like a nice leather one or something like this, but I personally don't need it. I like it as it is. Okay, so now another one of my favorite parts about this camera is that you can add in, just like Fujifilm, those custom recipes. You know how Fujifilm users are always talking about their cool new recipe they found and whatnot. You can do that with this too. So you can download an app called Ricoh Recipes, and you have endless looks and options to browse through. Pick the one you love, get all the settings, and then you just plug it into your Ricoh under the profiles or whatever. I'll save that for another person's YouTube video because I did find it a little bit confusing. But follow a couple videos, get them loaded in, and start shooting with those looks. If you're doing that, you're able to skip your edit process altogether, making this camera that much more streamlined. You can literally just shoot the JPEG, you've got your color profile baked in, export the photo and post it or print it, do whatever you want to do with it. It really just makes it a bit more of a faster process camera. So finally, who is the Ricoh GR3 or any of the Ricohs for? If you're looking for a backup camera, no. If you want a sometimes travel camera, also no. This is a daily driver camera. I'm not talking shoots and professional shoots, just life, every day. Make this thing become part of your life. It's part of your outfit. It's part of your pocket inventory. This is it. I guess it's like a photographer's camera for people who don't always want to look like a photographer. Now, the Ricoh GR3 isn't by any means perfect. It's not the fastest. It's not the flashiest. It's not winning any spec sheet wars, but it nails something way more important. It makes me want to take photos, and that's the whole point. Photography isn't just about always taking the best photos and having the best gear and making sure your settings are better than everyone else's. It's about actually wanting to go out and shoot without thinking about it. It's just stress-free shooting. Just pick up your camera, go out and have fun. So that to me has been the best part of the Ricoh. It's just made me want to shoot. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.